understanding of this particular subject matter of die before you die. A lot of you, when you hear this word itself, you'll be like, die before I die. What does it mean? What is death? To die before the final death. What is the final death? That's a big question. You know, what is the final death? A lot of us, we have so many opinions on what death is and what death isn't. But what is death? Everybody don't want to die. But we have to experience death at one phase of our life, whether we believe it or we don't believe it, whether we are prepared for it or we are not prepared for it. It is a phenomenon that we cannot avoid. But then what does it mean to die before dying? What does it mean to look at death and die before you die? These are what we're going to be talking about, today. Firstly, when we say die before dying, we are not talking about the final death where your body becomes no longer available. We are not talking about that final death. Although a lot of people experience death every day of their life. A few days ago, a few days ago, I was coming from the hospital. And while coming down from the hospital, I saw a very young man, maybe in his 20s, and he was just carried in the stretcher. He's dead. You can see this is a person that just died because the body is still fresh. And he's just carried in the stretcher, and they were pulling him, throwing him left, right, center. Nobody, he can't speak. He can't say anything. He can't rise up. Nothing. That same day, while in the hospital, I was waiting and I saw someone was carried out of the hospital in a bag. A bag already, is dead. So they just put him in a bag. Now, this is someone that owned vehicles. This is someone that owned properties. This is someone that, when you see him, it's someone you cannot just talk to anyhow. But at the end of the day, he's carried out of the hospital on a bag, in a bag. He came to the hospital with a very expensive car, but he left the hospital inside a black bag. Is it not ironical? Is it not something that is what each and every one of us to really ask ourselves questions and really ponder? What does it mean? To understand how to die before you die, you must first understand what is death. We must first understand what is death. What does death encompass? And if we understand what is death, then what is life? What does it mean to be alive? To be alive, does it mean owning family, having, properties, having children, what does it mean to be alive? To be alive, is it like, okay, I have a steady income of money? When I'm hungry, I have food to eat. When I'm feeling sad, I have someone to talk to me to make me happy. What does it mean to be alive? It is only in understanding what it means to be alive that you can understand what it means to die. If you don't understand what it means to be alive, then how will you understand what it means to die? See, it is very easy on the context that, okay, you are hearing it from one person's perspective. If you don't allow yourself to, to research, like go deep inside and try to understand the subject matter. What is death? We all understand that death is the beginning of life. It is not the ending of life, which means that so long as you are born, you are also entitled. Death is your inheritance. You cannot run away from it. You cannot hide from it. You cannot shy away from it. It is something that comes to you whether you want it or you don't want it. It comes to you. That is death. Now, if that is death, then what is life? Life is nothing, is simply nothing but serious couples of thousands of breath that we have until the last death. Do you understand? Life is nothing but just thousands of breath. From now to the time you're finally going to leave your body, it's just breath. How many breaths do you have left in you? How many numbers of heartbeats do you have left in your body? That is what life is. Life is not the experiences that I'm having. Like right now, I am talking to Sukadeva, or Sukadeva is talking to me. That is not life. Life is just your breath, your breath. What is making you to live? It's not your experience, it is the breath. The moment the breath exits the body, life is gone. If I tell you should do an exercise, everybody stop breathing, hold your breath. Now breathe. How difficult was that? Mm. Do you see? So your life, the combination of everything about your existence is simply nothing but your breath. And that is that point of your life, that is that point of life that you cannot really see nor perceive. You can't hold on to it. Like, oh, I'm holding on to life. No, you can't hold on to life. How can you hold on to what you cannot see? Mm. So life is nothing but a couple of thousands of breath. And that is why it is important that we know also how to control our breathing. You see, when there's a lot of thoughts that goes on in the mind, what happens? When you are thinking, when you become angry, someone says something to you and you're becoming angry, what happens? What happens to your breathing? Is your breathing slow or your breathing is fast? It is fast. When you are trying to remember something before, let's say you are trying to remember a certain experience, what happens? There's a certain pump of juice on the left side of your brain, but what happens? What stimulates it? Your breathing. And that is why when you see a person that is angry when they are talking, when a person that is angry is talking, he's not just talking, calmly or stuff. He's talking and the breath, he's breathing quicker and quicker. Because that is what life is. Life is just your breath. The combination of all this existence that you have right now is simply nothing but your breath. And the moment that breath finishes, life finishes. Now that is what we call death. But what does it mean to die before you die? What is detachment? We understand this. We understand attachment. Attachment is to hold on to. And what is detachment? To not hold on to. But what is it? What is it that gets attached? Or what is it that needs to be detached? We understand that our mind gets attached. You've heard people say, don't use your emotion. You are too emotional. You are too this. You are too that. But what is that emotion? What is the foundation of your emotion? The foundation of your emotion is your mind. Control your mind, they say. But how do you control your mind? What is the mind that has to be controlled? Is the mind the person? Is the mind an object? Is the mind a place? What is the mind that has to be controlled? Or who is the mind that has to be controlled? If you don't understand this, then you cannot understand what it means to die before you die. First of all, what is your mind? What is your mind made of? What is the color of your mind? What is the shape of your mind? Is your mind tall? Is it fat? Is it slim? Is it long? What is the shape? The mind has no shape. It has no gender. So what is it that I must control? If the mind has no shape, it has no gender, then why is the mind so difficult to control? The moment I said keep quiet, the mind automatically envisions the word quiet. But then, after some minutes, it starts talking again. Why? Even right now, I am talking to you, you are hearing the sound of my voice, but still there's someone else that's still talking to you. Is it not? Your face does appear to be looking at the screen, but the mind is also talking to you. Hey, Ladifa, what is Baba saying? Ah, the mind is trying to interpret what you think I am saying. So what does it mean? What does it mean to control the mind? To control the mind simply means to control your breathing. Do you know that? To control the mind, it's not like, oh, shut down your mind. Your mind is to this. It just simply means control your breathing. Do you want us to do an exercise? Sure. Okay. Let's do an exercise. I want you to picture or imagine the worst day of your life. Everybody have their different worst days. Just imagine that day of your life that was very, very emotionally distressful to you. Have you imagined it? Now hold on to that picture. As you're holding on to that picture, I want you to try to remember things that people said to you or what happened to you during those days. how distressed you are, how worried you are. Now, I want you to do something now. As you're doing that, I want you to monitor your breathing. How is your breath? Doing that, how is it? What is it do? What is doing? What is happening to you inside? You will find that there's an increase in your heart rate. The moment you hear, think of something bad about yourself. There's an increase in your heart rate. When there's an increase, also means that there's an increase in your breathing. And because there's an increase, am I audible now? Good. Because there's an increase in your breathing, also means that there will be a certain change in your emotion. Your mind functions like a picture. But for it to function, it needs the engine of your breath. Your breath is the engine that helps it to be able to produce more pictures to your brain. Now, seeing or imagining the negative thing that have happened to you, now just start breathing in and breathing out. Let's just even remove that from the mind. Although it's already there because we've already said it's already there. But just breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, 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 breathe out. You see, this circumstance here, this phenomenon here of breathing in or knowing how to understand your breath is the phenomenon to understand how to detach yourself from emotions when it happens and before it happens. This is what it means to die before you die. Because what is it that feels? What is the emotion? The mind. What is higher than the mind? The intelligence is higher than the mind. But what is the intelligence? Have you seen the intelligence before? But you know there is an intelligence. It is the intelligence that you use in controlling the mind. Now, what is that intelligence? Your thoughts. But the mind is also a thought. So it seems, but no. When you are able to have control over your breathing, then you'll be able to detach yourself from circumstances that naturally are to make you sad. In this week, a lot of us who might have experienced so many situations and so many circumstances that might have made us sad. But in those circumstances, just observe your breathing pattern. Your breathing pattern speaks everything. Why? Why does breath affect us so much? It's a question. Why does breath affect us so much? The moment you have control over it, you become free from it. To die before you die, it simply means it's not about not getting worried when an event happens. Oh, okay, it means, okay, when an event happens, let me not get worried and everything. That is a lie. It is difficult not to get worried when certain circumstances happen in our life. It is difficult. No matter how much intelligence we may think we have, or no matter how spiritual we may think we are, when certain events happen in our life, we can't say we are not going to be emotional. It is difficult. But to understand it, that when it does happen, and being able to bring yourself out of that emotional stupor, that is where the intelligence comes. That is what it means to die before you die. To die before you die does not mean that, oh, you know what, when someone comes to steal from you, so you're like, okay, all right, I'm not disturbed. Okay, no problem. They have taken away my money. Okay, no problem. I'm expecting it anyway. That is not it. It simply means to have control over your breath, to have control over your emotional intelligence, as at the time when those events happens to you. Every day we must confront the fact that, one loved one or the other is no more. Every day, each and every one of us must confront the fact that a person we love or a person we don't, one loved one or the other is no more. Each and every day of our life, we must meet different challenges. Sometimes some challenges are relationship wisely, some challenges are family wisely, some challenges are educational wise, some challenges are financial wise. Those challenges, when they come, because they will come, how balanced is your thought at those time when those challenges come knocking at your door? How balanced is your mind? How balanced is your thought? How balanced is everything when those challenges come knocking at your door? That is that is the point here. How balanced is it? It is very difficult. It is very, very difficult for the mind to remain balanced when you are passing through difficulties. People will give you advice and tell you, yes, oh, it's okay, don't worry, it will be okay, it will be okay. That is people. But it is you that is passing through the difficulty. It is you that is passing through, that is feeling the pinch, and, it is you that is getting the pain. But at that moment, why is it difficult for us not to be able to understand that this is just a temporary thing and it will pass away? Imagine you just did an operation, or you're about to have an operation, and they did the cutting or whatever it is they have done, and then you are being told, do not worry, this is temporary. The pain is going to pass away. At that moment, because the operation is still fresh, it is difficult for you to believe that it is going to pass away. Because the pain is still very real in your head. But the question, this is where the point is. Why is it that when we pass through extreme pain, it is very difficult for us to acknowledge at that time that, okay, it is temporary, it will go away? Why? Because at that point, at that time, our emotion, our mind, everything makes it real to us. It says what the mind shows to you is not real. That is what is there. We understand it. But why is it that when we pass through difficulty, like when I'm in difficulty, like real difficulty, it looks real. Why? The making of the mind. Okay, yes, understandable. But what is it that makes it painful? Your breath. Do you know that? And that is why it is said when you are passing through pain, what do the doctors ask you to do? Just breathe. Is it not so? Just breathe. If a woman is in labor, what are they going to tell her? Just breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Why? Because your breath has a way of synchronizing and resetting the emotional reaction that your mind makes you to feel. Your breath. Like in everything that is created on the surface of the earth, there is a reset button. Is there not? If you have a phone, there's a reset. If you have a television, there's a reset. In everything, there is a reset button. So what is the reset button for the human body? What is the reset button? Your breath. That is the reset button. And if you can have a mastery over this breath, if you can have a mastery over your breathing, then you have mastery over your life. But why is it so difficult? Question before we continue. Question, comments?
So what is it so difficult to control, Baba? And why, since our ancestors have seen everything that we go through, and do they try to connect with us? Do they send us information? Really connect or try to help us, or they're waiting for us to do our part before they do their, or I don't know, Baba.
It's very simple. But first, let me answer it with a question. Why is it that when we are passing through pain, like we are passing through pain, and people are telling us sorry, 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 it makes us more angry? Why? Why?
Because it doesn't help. It's not gonna solve your problem. It's not what you are expecting.
But then why is it that when we are passing through pain, any advice people tell us, we easily take it? Why?
Because we are vulnerable.
We are vulnerable. Is it because we are vulnerable?
I guess. Because we need relief.
Because we need relief. A person is passing through pain, any medicine they prescribe to you, you will buy it. Is it not so? Any medicine, take this, eat with, you buy it. Why? Because pain is not the nature of the soul. The nature of the soul is blissful, is joyful. So pain is foreign to the soul. And because pain is foreign to the soul feels uncomfortable. It feels extremely uncomfortable. It does not want to experience pain. So is it that the ancestors watch us when we are passing through all of this pain? Can they be so mean and so bad that they allow us to pass through this pain and this difficulty? That is your question, Miss Latifa. The same thing we can say, what can a parent be so bad that is just watching her son or his son crying? What kind of a parent is that? To the child, the parent is bad. But to the parent, they are trying to teach the child how to become more stronger. It's not so. I have a son. When I tell my son, hey, enough watching television now, it's time to go and sleep, he will start crying. To him, the parent is bad. The parent does not love him enough. The parent does not want him to do what he wants to do. If the parent loves him, the parent will allow him to do what he wants to do. But now the parent is denying him of his pleasure, and now he's crying. But is the crying, is what the parents telling the child or wanting the child, is it bad? No, it isn't. It is essential for the proper upbringing of the child. Similarly, let us bring it to our modern day thing. If you want to make a person strong, what do you do? What do you do?
Strong in go ahead.
Yes, go ahead.
Like you put some measure to him, measures that he or she has to follow.
Challenges, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes a lot of us, when we pass through certain difficulties and we pray to the ancestors, and it's like the ancestors are not answering us, it creates a lot of doubt in our head. Wow, what am I doing wrong? Am I not a good child? It's just like a child that is crying to his parents and saying, Mama, I'm doing everything you're telling me to do, but why are you not giving me the food now? Why are you not giving me what I'm looking for now? You're such a wicked mama. But it is not so. What is given will be given at the right time. But sometimes the right time for us is not the right time for them. And most often, just like when a child wants candy, the child wants it now, 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 now. Once my father-in-law told me a story. He went with his father to the market. And when he went with his father to the market, he was just a boy. So he saw some of his friends, they bought candy. And he asked his father, please, can I get candy also? And his father actually did not have any money with him. So his father said, oh, you want candy? Okay, you will get candy, but not today. To him, at that moment when his father told him he's going to give him candy, but not today, he was very sad. And he said his father was not good and everything. Then he said it is only after he started having his own children and being in the circumstance that his father was in that he came to understand what his father meant by, don't worry, not now. It is only when he finds out that his child is asking him for something, but he does not have the money in his hand. You can't tell the child, no, don't worry, I will do not now. But then he did not understand it. He thought that the father was just very, very mean with money. But It took him years until having his own children to be able to understand it. So the ancestors are not mean to us. They give us what they have to give to us at the right time. Again, our right time is not their right time. But does not mean that they are wicked or that they are not hearing us. We must continue praying. What is given is always given at the right time. Do you understand, Mrs. Ladifa? It is easy for us to get fed up. It's very easy. But
Patient. It's not easy. The patient.
this is where you have to learn to control your breathing.
Okay.
Because you see, imagine yourself at a time whereby you start feeling so much heaviness on your head, like, oh, there's so much thing I need to do and everything like that. At that time, your breathing is different. But the moment you start controlling your breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, you start seeing that there's just this tightness in your head. So to die before you die simply means to understand that everything that you are experiencing is not new to you. You've experienced it before. It is not new. This is not the first time you are living. This is not the first time you are having children. This is not the first time you are having a husband or wife. This is not the first time that you've traveled. This is everything. You've experienced it all before. The only thing is now you are experiencing it again. You've lost the experience. And because you've experienced it before, the way to come out of it also has already been encoded in the different people you are going to meet in your life. To detach yourself, a lot of people, you will hear a lot of words that says, surrender, every problem you are passing through is because of God. God is testing you. That is why you're passing through all this problem. This is good. It gives us hope. But it is not a fact. Do you understand? It is good. It gives what? Hope. When a person is sick and you're telling the person, don't worry, everything is going to be okay, what you are doing is you are sowing a seed of hope in the consciousness of the person. That yes, it may not be okay now, but it is going to be okay tomorrow. Hope. You are giving hope to the person. So is it God that starts testing us when we pass through different difficulties? No. We are tested based on our own karma from the past life. And no one is free of it, not including me. No one is free of it. We all pass through our own shares of it. But how you control your breath matters a lot. All right? Okay. Any other question?
So, is there any recommended breathing technique for us?
Yes. How you start your day matters a lot. How you start your day matters a lot. Who you start your day hearing to matters a lot. You see, breathing is very subtle. So also is this air energy. The people, when you wake up in the morning and the first thing you hear, it pours into your subconscious. Now, whatever it pours into your subconscious determines how your breathing pattern is going to be all through the day. If you wake up and you're listening to someone that is motivational, see, how do you know the consciousness of a person? A lot of people ask me, so how do I know who is genuine, who is not genuine? It is very simple. The moment you wake up in the morning and you take the recording of anybody and you play it, if you are a genuine observer, observe your day for the whole day. Observe yourself for the whole day. The state of your consciousness is exactly as the state of the consciousness of the person you were listening to. Do you understand? Do you understand, or should I break it down?
Understand.
Good. If you start your day hearing, a lot of people start their day listening to devotional songs, which is good. But it is not the song, is the sound. Is that not so? Now, how that sound, when you hear that sound through the chambers of your ear and it goes and sits in your subconscious, if the person that is pronouncing that sound is genuinely pure from inside, it will affect your own subconscious. But if the person is not pure, that's why a lot of people, they say a lot of things. You know, it may look very intelligent and very wonderful, but if the person is not pure and the word has been said, when you hear it and it goes to sit in your subconscious, you will either feel full or you still feel empty.
Like
Because,
peace.
sorry?
No, I was just saying at peace, but I didn't know my mic was on. Sorry.
Yes, because it is based on what? The consciousness of the person that you are listening to. So my friends, my brothers, my sisters, my daughters and sons, be careful who you listen to when you wake up in the morning. What you listen to, that is what pours substance into your subconscious. All right? This is one of the way you can die before you die. Please be mindful. All right? Any other question for us?
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Shram Bhagavatam said, if you dream that lion tiger is chasing you, you wake up and it's concussions, not true, and it's a fact. Okay. And what about if you dream that your teacher or instruction master is giving you instruction that travel or fast? That one, is it a fact or is it concussions?
That's a good question. So what is the contradiction there? The Srimad Bhagavatam said, when you dream of a golden mountain, these are creation of your mind. But now that same Srimad Bhagavatam is saying, when you dream and you see a spiritual teacher and everything like that, now this is good. So is there not a contradiction in that? It does appear, but there is no contradiction. There is no contradiction. Because, like I said before, dreams are nothing but continuations of events you've done in your waking state. Now, when you sleep and you saw yourself, you saw yourself climbing a tall mountain, or you saw yourself doing so many things. Some of these dreams are not real based on the timing. Any dream you have from, 6 in the morning to 10 a.m., this is not a dream. It shouldn't be considered. Any dream you have from 12 noon till 3 p.m. noon, this These are dreams that have a bit of prognosis to them. Because it is in the early hours of, it is in the early afternoon period. Such dreams have a meaning. Any dream that you have from, 4 p.m. till 8 or 9 p.m. in the evening, it has no meaning. It has no substance. They are nothing but creation and continuation of the events you've done in your waking state. But any dream you had as from 12 midnight till 3 a.m. in the morning, now this has substance. These are dreams that are likely to come to pass, to come to fruition. So yes, the Srimad Bhagavatam have said it, but it also gives, differences. Seeing a spiritual teacher in the dream, it is a blessing. It is a blessing. So we should check the timing, because that is what is most important. All right. For any dream, the time that you had the dream is what is most important.
So, Baba,
Yeah.
when you said 6 to 8 is not important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6.
So suppose it happens. What do you call those?
They are just thoughts.
So I'm the one who created those thoughts and made it happen?
Yes, your thought.
Really? No.
Yes.
Even things I'm not thinking about?
Yes, they are your thoughts. Majority of the dreams you see are also the people you've seen in your waking state. See, let me explain how dream works for you guys. Dream filters people's energy. Do you understand?
Even if it's somebody you never seen in your life?
No, everything you see, except if it's dream from midnight till 3 a.m. or 3 a.m. Or noon till 3 in the evening. Now, these dreams have.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Yes, please.
Sorry. Go ahead. So how do you determine the timing of the dream if you're sleeping all night and you're a dreamer?
How do you determine the timing of the dream?
Yeah.
You will
Because
see.
sometimes you dream.
You will wake up.
Oh, once you wake up.
Yeah. You will wake up.
So every time you're dreaming, you're saying if I dream, say for instance, I'm dreaming, I have a couple of dreams. Once I wake up like 6 o'clock, I would say the dream is 6 o'clock.
Yeah, if you wake up 6 o'clock, then it makes no sense. That dream, because dreams are not, there's no dream that lasts for 2 hours. It's just a few seconds.
But have you ever like dreamt? Yes, you woke up, but you're not fully up like 100%, but you're not checking on the time. You go back to sleep later when you wake up in the morning, you remember you had this dream.
Yes.
You're not certain what the hours are.
Yes. Yes.
So what about those?
Whichever the dreams are. The time plays a lot of role. Even let's say, for example, you went to bed and you were drowsy and then you slept and you had some strange, weird dreams and all of that. And then you woke up, then you went back again into bed, and it seems like the dream continued, when you went back to bed. Like it's a continuation of where you stopped. You picked up from that side and then you wake up and then you slept, you woke up again. When you woke up, and maybe you did not remember that this is the time that I was having this dream, and you were just going about your day-to-day activities and everything. But when it struck your consciousness that, oh, I had a dream, I'm not so sure at the time. The time that it struck your consciousness that you had a dream, but you were not so sure, that time becomes the time of the dream.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because that time becomes the time that the dream becomes, more manifested to your waking consciousness. Do you understand it? Again, I was saying before that majority of the dreams we have are nothing but energies of people's energy. Let's say you're walking on the street, you met certain people, people shake you, you shake people, people talk to you, you talk to them, and then you went back home and you slept. And then you start seeing yourself, you are seeing a tiger, you are seeing a wolf, you are seeing a snake. These are the energies of the different people you've spoken to in your waking state. The kind of nature that they have that they are hiding. You see, dream has positive side, and at the same time also it has the negative side. What is the positive side? The positive side is that if you can really fine-tune to understand it, it shows you the nature of people. It shows you what is their inherent nature. But then when you don't understand it, then we become confused and lost. And again, you will observe that the amount of dreams you have, frightening or not frightening, also depends on the numbers of people or things you've associated with in your waking state. Because that is what dreams are, continuation of activities done in the waking state.
So how about when you're hearing them? Is that you creating that one too?
When you are hearing what?
Yeah. Like you're hearing a person, like the person's talking, you hear them.
Yes, but of course, dream is supposed to be real, that you're supposed to hear. They are also your own creation.
When I mean hearing them, I mean like that's something you're actually saying for real.
Okay, just
Have
like
you ever dreamt like you hear somebody saying something and then you actually hear them say it?
Yes.
So that's making up thing too, or what?
See, like I said again, for any dream to become fructified or not fructified, depends on the time. Because time of every day is influenced by what? By the moon. So if you, for example, today is a Friday, right? Today is a Friday. And what is the phase of the moon that one is passing through right now? It is the full moon. Now the full moon is in its waning state, right? And because the full moon is in its waning state right now, a lot of people are going to see different kinds of dreams. A majority of the dream is going to be related to some nightmares or some, scary things and everything like that. Why? Because the moon is in its waning state. But when the moon starts becoming full from from the full moon, new moon, and the full moon going on, then again, you start seeing yourself having different kinds of dreams. Because for whatever dreams you have, it is influenced by the mind. Yes, that's true. Because the mind and the brain tries to make sense of the activities you've done and the different people you've done in your waking state. For example, you may have heard this word fly, drive, move, and then you sleep and then you find yourself, you find yourself walking on top of the air. You're just walking. And then to other people are below you, but you are walking. And in your mind, you wake up and be like, wow, I was walking on the air. It means I have victory. No, it's not that. It's just words and sentences that you've heard and your subconscious has picked up from one place or the other. So we need to be more understanding of these things so that we don't become, mentally blocked. A lot of people get so carried away in dreams. Oh, every some time ago, I had a friend. He calls me every day to tell me his dreams. every day. And when I hear the dream, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So I saw myself, I was sleeping on the bed, and all of a sudden, a tree started growing from on top of my bed. So I saw myself, I was sleeping on the bed, and all of a sudden, I just start seeing so many rock and mountain around the bed. Doesn't make sense. But it just shows you that there's a lot of brain activity that is happening there. So the timing is most important, and check on the time that I've said to you guys. That is when you should know what is real and what is not. Okay?
And so can I ask you questions?
Yes.
The first question is, can you get messages in your dream? Because there was a time I did dream and I saw my grandmother in the dream, and she was telling me something that someone else told me. And I knew that, okay, maybe this is the second person that's saying this. So is that a message? Can that be a message?
Yes, we
And
can get
then,
message in the dream depending on the time. Depending on the time.
okay, okay.
Yes.
And then the second thing is, what about if you have a dream and then it happens in real life? Like, I remember when I was young, I had a dream. I still remember that dream that someone broke the window, like threw a ball and broke the window. The next day, it happened exactly like that. So, what does that mean? Is it, or some instances of deja vu? I have a lot of instances like I feel like it's deja vu or stuff like that. What
No, that
what
is
does
not
that
deja vu.
mean?
That is not deja vu. That is simply the dream and the moon influencing us. But also, again, it depends on the time. Time. For any dream to be fruitful or not fruitful, the time that you have it is what is most important. There is no dream that a person have in the as from 6, in the evening till 9 or 10 in the evening that is ever fruitful. But any dream you have around that noon period, a lot of people sleep around noon, from that 12 noon till like 3 in the afternoon. Such dreams have a high element of being fruitful. Similarly, any dream you have as from 12 noon, 12 midnight till 3, 3 a.m., 4 a.m., maximum 4:30 a.m., those dreams have a strong, element of being fruitful also. But any dream from that, apart from these periods and, from this period onwards, no, no. And that is why you will see a lot of people that have so many of these dreams that does appear to be, fruitful. It is always going to be around that period of 12 till 3. Not before that, not after that. And that is my grand spiritual teacher always advised that we keep a dream journal. We keep a dream journal because, like I said, majority of your dreams are nothing but continuation of events that you've had and seen in your waking state. But every time on your bedside, by your bedside, make sure you have a diary for your dreams. The ones that make sense, the ones that don't make sense, just keep writing it down. And after some time, you read it, and then you start connecting all the dots together. Okay. All right. Okay.
Oh, Prabhu,
Yes, sir.
Prabhu,
Yes,
for
sir.
me, I don't dream at all.
That is good.
I don't dream at all.
That is good. It means your mind externally, you may be worried, but internally your mind is calm. It is people that mind is restless, they are the ones that dream. And you find yourself, observe also, the day you are very, very stressed and very tensed, that is the day you will dream, because at that time your brain will start making pictures of the things and the events that is going on around you. But when the mind is calm, Shanti, you don't dream. I don't dream. What is wrong with that? Yeah, because the mind is calm. The mind is calm. There are people that find
Okay.
it difficult to sleep. Like when they put their head on the pillow like this, they find it difficult to sleep. You know, such people, they dream a lot. But then there are those people that when they put their head on the pillow like this, they are gone.
They are gone.
You know, such people, they don't dream. They hardly dream. And when they do dream, it's once in a while like that, you know, because the mind is calm.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. God bless you. So,
Thank you.
please, the summary of today is that everyone to please work on their breathing. Work on your breathing. It is very, very important. Okay. And I think we'll do a little more exercise relating to this breathing. Not today, maybe one of these days. We'll do some exercise just relating to breathing. You guys will know how to learn how to breathe properly. A lot of people don't know how to breathe properly. So, well, thank you. God bless you. And see you in our next class, Sunday. Friday, Saturday. Au revoir. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Take care of yourself.